So they say dolphins are really smart. How smart are they? And why is it illegal to talk to them?
I was today years old when I learned that it's illegal to talk to dolphins. In fact, you can get fined $100,000 for trying to talk to or communicate with a dolphin. Watch this.
Considering the fact that there's a law that makes it illegal for us to try to communicate with dolphins, but dolphins live in the ocean, does that mean the law would technically not apply as long as you're offshore since you're not in the country?
That's an interesting legal loophole to consider. Maritime laws can get complicated, but in general, U.S. laws only apply within its territorial waters, which extend 12 nautical miles from the coast. Beyond that, you enter international waters where different rules apply. However, even in international waters, certain global protections could still apply to dolphins. Are you thinking this could be a possible way around the restrictions?
Yes, I'm thinking that maybe if you are outside of that 12 nautical miles, it might not apply. But do you know if there is any language within the Marine Mammal Protection Act that would override that?
The Marine Mammal Protection Act, MMPA, primarily applies within U.S. waters. However, it also extends to U.S. citizens and vessels operating in international waters. This means that even if you're beyond the 12 nautical miles, the MMPA could still apply to you.
Thanks.
Apparently, the military started using dolphins for military operations back in the 1960s during the Cold War. And then in 1972, a law was created that basically made it illegal to try to talk to and communicate with dolphins. So the question is, what do the dolphins know that they don't want us to know?
I really think dolphins are way smarter than we think. Seriously. They're able to work for the military. They're literally a sergeant at that point. Like, you're a soldier. Like, like, that's crazy. They said they used to use them in the military. That's crazy, for real.
Did you know it's illegal to communicate with a dolphin? Did you know that?
Yes. Do you know why?
Why is that?
So I think it was 1927, because I just looked this up recently, because they stopped in Hawaii now. You can't take the boats out to swim with the dolphins. It's illegal. It's cruel for the animals. And I was like, okay, I mean...
Cruel for the animals?
It's like, it's cruel for the dolphins, but we'll dump into the ocean for them. Like
daily, yes.
They taught dolphins how to track their enemy ships and how to put different like explosives onto the ship, and they could communicate with humans, and that they were learning how to communicate back and forth, and they didn't want people to learn that because dolphins will tell them what's going on under the ocean.
And that's what I heard too.
Isn't it?
Whenever my sister sent us the story maybe like last year or something. She was like, did you know that you couldn't talk to dolphins? I was like, we can't talk to dolphins. They're dolphins. And she was like, no. And she sent this story, and I was like, so we can't, how can we communicate? She was like, I don't know. And I looked it up a little bit, and it was like, dolphins know stuff that they don't want us to know. And I was...
My question is, what do dolphins know, and what would they probably tell us? What do y'all think they would probably tell us about? Like, the ocean, like, what... Like, for real, because they like, what are they holding? What type of knowledge are they holding? Right? It make me wonder. Guess we'll never know.
The entire planet is behind us. This is a war we don't lose. They lose this war, not us. Ask yourself, why can't I talk to these dolphins in the wild? Why is that illegal? It's not illegal for me to talk to an alligator, a snake, a lion, but I can't communicate with a dolphin, a shark, goldfish, turtles. What's so special about these dolphins and these whales? The dolphins and the whales store all the oldest memories of the cosmos within them. That's why. The dolphins and the whales hold all the oldest memories of the cosmos within them. They also are a healing species. So you can touch certain fins, and they can touch you with certain secretions on their body that if they touched you, would activate certain cosmic energies within you.
Okay, hearing that makes me wonder, like, because we probably wouldn't talk to him. We would probably talk to him telepathically, you know? Because they do say dolphins are telepathic communicators too. So, maybe. So, more people are noticing they're seeing bioengineered labeled on their products from the stores. What's going on? Yo, man, it's a lot of shocking videos in here, man. Please drop me a like, subscribe if you want to keep seeing content like this. Let's go.
Okay, guys, before me is a bunch of food that we have just found to have bioengineered material in it.
Did you know that they've changed labels from GMO to bioengineered? They no longer have to list GMO on a label. Now they're getting sneaky, you guys. Now it can say bioengineered. So you can see all these images behind me. I'm going to start by saying we don't use any of these brands. These brands, not only are they GMO, but they're full of preservatives and enriched flours and sugars and dyes and just all kinds of garbage. So we don't eat any of these products, but many people do. So I wanted to show you guys, circled in red, this says bioengineered, contains bioengineered food ingredient. If you look close, bioengineered food ingredient. All of these say the same thing. Pop-Tarts, bioengineered food ingredient, SpaghettiOs. Guys, these are all genetically modified, contains a bioengineered food ingredient. These are genetically modified ingredients, contains bioengineered food ingredients. So it's really important to know, Ritz crackers, same thing. It's really important to know what you're looking for, how to understand the marketing, the terms they come up with, how they're changing things, understand how to read labels. So I really hope this helps. If you use any of these, I want you to be aware that these are GMO products that are now saying bioengineered. If you want to learn how to read labels or more info on how to understand all this, drop group in the comments and I'll invite you into my group where I do label reading talks and I teach you all the things.
So how is the bioengineering in our foods affecting our bodies?
Did you know that most of your staple foods that you grew up eating, I know my generation, most of our staple foods that I grew up eating are bioengineered. Do you know what bioengineered means? I want you to look up what the word bioengineered means. Most of our staple foods are bioengineered, and we wonder why we have these illnesses, these sicknesses, and people falling up out of here. Y'all, we have been had out here. Get this movie, man. This movie is going to bless your life. It's going to give you some enlightenment. I literally I walk you through some of these top tier foods, man, that we grew up eating, and they are killing us. They are killing us. And we don't know how serious this is, man, but right now our youth have diabetes. Many of our adults are undiagnosed diabetes. Folk gonna start losing limbs. I'm telling you, it's a real thing.
Bioengineered foods, why are they bad? Bioengineered foods are foods that have had their DNA altered, and they do that for a variety of reasons. When it comes to crops, let's say corn, by controlling the growing process and the DNA of the corn, it can lead to higher yields and more consistent crops. So the growers can guarantee the size of the crop, of the corn, and the quantity. But what happens when you alter DNA is you're adding genes or taking genes away from the food. And it's no longer real food, it's fake food. And those added genes can do a variety of things to our bodies, like they could produce allergy symptoms, mess with our gut biome, leading to digestion issues, or a multitude of other health risks. Back in the 50s and 60s, they didn't have bioengineered food. All of a sudden in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and today, you're seeing obesity issues in America, autism rates are higher, ADD rates are higher, not to mention depression and anxiety. When these yields are higher and the production is higher, it leads to lower costs. So you'll see a ton of bioengineered foods in like discount grocery stores. While we're talking about it, there's a lot of added chemicals to bioengineered foods. And our bodies are pretty smart. They know how to handle like calories, but they don't know how to handle chemicals. So when we're eating processed foods with a lot of chemicals, the body doesn't know how to digest it, so it tries to get rid of that in another form. Think the big C word. Cysts, tumors, or it just stores it as fat. And then we have a really hard time getting rid of that fat, no matter how hard we exercise, because it's stored in the body and the body really doesn't know what to do with it. We can't deny the health crisis in America. If
think about it, there's some countries out there that our foods in America are banned there. Some of the ingredients they won't allow. As always, do your own research on what you're putting into your body and make your own decisions.
Look at this. What the fuck?
It's a little bit freaky.
I thought it was a person for a second. Don't go in that house because you're gonna die.
Let's see.
Look at this.
What was this? That's crazy.
It's like layers of... So I have these kiwis, y'all, and I wanted to make this video because I usually eat my kiwi, I cut it in half as you see, and I eat it with a spoon. And I attempted to do it this time, but the kiwi was just so freaking hard. Do you see how hard that is, you know? And it's almost like plastic. And let me take the camera up to kind of show you a little bit more. All right, hopefully y'all can see me here. But this is the kiwis, and I'm going to show you. This is another one. This is pretty much how I do it. I usually just cut it in half, and already it's harder. All of them has this huge sensor as well, and that is something as well I'm not really used to seeing. You see, I can literally put dents in it because it's so hard. But I was trying to cut this one, and this is what got me. I'm gonna come a little closer. Do you see? It's like layers of...
Someone said it looked like an avocado. It does. It does look like an avocado.
I don't even know. Like, layers in the... And I swear to y'all, I didn't cut it like that or anything. I just was trying to pull it, and it's if you eat kiwi like I eat kiwi, I have never in my life. See,
nah, I know kiwi doesn't do stuff like this, so this is definitely strange. I'm not gonna lie. Kiwi is almost like always soft. I don't know if it's like, maybe it's not, you know, ripe. I don't know, but why does it look 3D printed? See, they even saying they think the fruit is 3D printed now. The fruit that now you 3D printing the fruit now? Come on, man. Dang.
We so tough. Like, I don't know. And this is some other pieces. I'm gonna try to like rip it so y'all can see. Like, I keep in mind, I usually eat this in with a spoon. I usually scoop it out with a spoon. It never has been this fucking hard to get out. Like, I sit and eat this with a spoon, but I know some people probably not think nothing wrong with it. Like, this girl's messing up kiwis, but I eat kiwis a lot. This is something ain't right about this. So just beware. If there's any other people out there that enjoy eating kiwis as a little snack, these is hard, and I don't really know what's going on, but I decided to show y'all. Yeah, it's like layers.
That sucks, man. And she just spent her hard-earned money on that too, just to get some fruit that don't even look good to eat at all. That's tough.
As a Chinese medicine doctor, the biggest tip for detox of the body is to sleep before 11 p.m. The reason for that is because 11 to 1 is the gallbladder time and 11 to 1 a.m. is the liver time. Two major organs important for detox of the body, to reset your body and to heal it, giving you energy for the next day. If you don't sleep by 11 p.m., you're using borrowed energy for the next day. As a Chinese medicine...
11 p.m. does sound like a good time to go to sleep. And a lot of us do be standing up a lot, though, you know? It be like that sometimes.
Let me put this in plain English. Thousands of planes that you fly on every day are being looked at right now because of sunlight. Yes, sunlight. It may be messing with their flight controls. Airbus grounded thousands of planes worldwide. You just heard what I said? Airbus just issued an emergency recall for their A320 family aircraft because during intense radiation, one of these planes had what they're calling a flight control malfunction. Translation, the system that keeps the plane stable in the sky could get corrupted when the sun hits hard enough. Now, that corrupted data they mentioned, that's the information pilots rely on to make microsecond decisions. If the system reads wrong inputs mid-air, you don't have time to reboot. Now, Airbus won't say how close that malfunction got to being catastrophic. They're just saying that it appeared to happen. The wording alone should bother you. This isn't one random jet. Airbus grounded thousands of A320s worldwide. This shit triggered what's called the Airworthiness Directive, meaning all those planes need urgent software and possibly hardware updates before airlines risk flying them again. So if you experience delays, you know why. Y'all better be safe while you're flying, man. Be safe.
Real chicken is yellow, not white. Pasture-raised chicken usually has yellow fat and skin because of natural pigments found in grass, corn, and marigold. Industrial chicken, raised indoor on grain, looks much more pale in comparison. This gets even worse once you consider that 97% of USDA chicken is washed in chlorine, washing away more of the natural color. The result is that white pale chicken can often signal less diversity in diet and lower micronutrient content. Best you can do is look for chicken like this that has pasture access, eating bugs, grass, and natural feed. Real chicken is yellow.
You want to know where the worst place you could ever go missing in the entire world is? It's the U.S. national parks. That's right, the national parks all across the United States. You want to know why? It's because there's no national registry that keeps track of the people who go missing. There is no active system that follows up on those missing people. You don't believe me? Go ahead and look it up. See how many people have gone missing in the national parks. There's no answer because there's no database that collects that information. There never has been and there never will be. If you guys haven't done some digging and looking on the missing 411 documentaries, it's about a retired U.S. Marshal that is trying to make a collective list, and the U.S. Park Service does not want to hand that information over. You have to get court subpoenas to even look into missing people in national parks. If you go missing in a national park, it's almost guaranteed they are not going to find you. So for serial killers, it is the perfect hunting ground because they know that their MOs probably won't get recognized as long as they just keep hopping to different national parks because there's no database matching these patterns at all. It is the most insane thing I've ever heard of, and why they're wanting to gatekeep it so hard, no one actually knows. Because a national park, if it's in such and such county, that county's jurisdiction goes out the window when it comes to the National Park Service. It is a whole different branch. It's its own thing. It's its own entity, and they do not play well with others. There are 30-year-old cold cases where bodies have never been found, and they still will not let new investigators reopen these cases and look further into it. Why? Now, there's tons of theories out there bouncing all over the place that maybe the government's abducting people, or maybe it's containment theory, which is the theory that they think that there is some kind of creature or natural phenomenon there, like wormholes or anything else. And they make the national parks in those areas to just limit the amount of people who might come in contact with those things, but that's just a wild stretch of a theory. The one about the government abducting people in those places really does have me sketched out, because some of these people who have gone missing and the stories their family and friends tell say, yeah, they were there 1 second, we looked away, we looked back, and they were gone. Some of these stories are just insane. Oftentimes, later on, their clothes will be found in the exact same spot that searchers have searched a million times before, or their items will be found, neatly stacked up. There was one case where the bones were stacked up in a pyramid shape in an area that the searchers had searched a million times over. Oftentimes, when the bodies are recovered, they're found in impossible to get to places, or places that have been thoroughly searched many times. And there's almost never any sign of why they passed away. There is some really creepy ones too, if you guys want to go down the rabbit hole, of some little children who have gone missing and then are found a week later, and they've lived through an impossible snowstorm or traveled an impossible distance. And they talk about how the fuzzy people saved them. And I don't mean fuzzy they're hairy. I mean, they describe them as fuzzy when you see TV static. That literally gave me chills talking about it just now. Oh God, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I'm out here in the middle of nowhere by myself. I would say stay safe and always go to the national parks with a friend or a buddy, but apparently that doesn't matter. Many of these cases, the people are in well-traveled trails and in populated areas, and it's just bloop, they're gone, and no one ever sees them or hears from them quite literally ever again. You want to know where the worst place you could ever go missing in the entire...
Man, he scared himself almost, man. That's crazy though. I don't know how true that is, but It gotta be true if he talking like that. For real, man. This says never go to national parks. I gotta look more into that on another video. That's crazy.
We got the 3D chicken. This is crazy. What is it? It's the bubbles under the skin. But like, is that even skin? Like, what is that?
What is it? Like, look at that. And then you pull it and it's just slimy.
Ew, it's just gooey. We got the 3D.
They did say stop eating the chicken. I haven't been trying to eat chicken either. I've been trying to stay strict. Eat spinach, kale, nuts. You gotta trying to eat healthy, man. For real. Try to eat healthy out there, y'all. Please, for real, cause they not playing fair. They not. They want it all. They want you to work hard. They want you to eat unhealthy. They want you to just bull crap. They want a lot of bull crap to go on. They want you with a low vibration. Seriously.
I've got this 3D printed steak from Redefined Meat that is meaty and fibrous, just like real meat, but 100% vegan. And I'm going to stick it in a Club Mexicana taco. I mean, it looks meaty.
Don't eat that, man.
It smells meaty. It's got the layers of protein
don't eat that.
and
Please
fat
don't
that
eat
you
that.
find in meat. And it's pretty juicy. I'm not going to lie, it smells disgusting. I probably would think meat smells disgusting too, so I'm going to be open-minded. Right, now that we've loaded up our tacos, it's time to give it a try. It looks like meat, it smells like meat, does it taste like meat? That is very, very meaty. It's got that umami flavour that you get when you sear meat. Banging. And as always, Club Mexicana tacos are 10 out of 10. Definitely recommend giving it a try.
Some people gonna be eating the 3D meat, y'all. You feel me? Like, some people gonna be doing that. But you make sure you don't do that, man. For real.
Bioengineered meat.
A juicy, sizzling steak made by computer. While obtaining regular meat is a process that's been taking
I'm
place
sorry, y'all. I'm going down like a rabbit hole right now. I was just trying to see what's going on.
for millennia, cow, butcher, beef. Redefined Meat, a meat alternative startup out of Israel, makes their product using a highly technical process. The mix of soy and pea protein, chickpeas, beetroot, nutritional yeast, and coconut fat is formed into steak-like shapes using a 3D printer.
Our goal is to become the largest meat company in the world just by harnessing technology instead of animals.
Meat substitutes are not new, but unlike the soy-based crumbles that mimic ground beef, Redefined Meat's product is designed to act, taste, and cut like flank steak.
This is the holy grail of alternative meat.
But the most important part, how does it taste? This diner was happy.
The texture feels right. Even the smell smells like the real thing. Really authentic. For me, it's revolution.
The entire world may soon be eating 3D printed meat, and here's why. It's projected that in just 30 years, the world's population will exceed our ability to produce enough protein through traditional farming, leading to extreme malnutrition in many parts of the world. That's why scientists are currently looking into the promising field of 3D bioprinting as a potential solution. For example, just recently, the world's first 3D printed fish fillet was created by a tech company called Stakeholder Foods, claiming it even had the same texture and taste of real fish. You see, the reason it's able to taste so similar to real meat is because the bio ink the printer uses to create the fillers is actually matured stem cells from the animal. But the difference being that this fish was never in the ocean and was printed in just a few minutes. The company also say that the technology is scalable and hope that one day it could supply millions with sustainable printed meat. So the question is, would you eat 3D printed meat or not? The entire world.
Would y'all eat it? I would rather eat that than have humans in my food. For real. Y'all remember last video, they showed, y'all know, last video, if you seen last video when they was talking about the, hey man, it's a possibility, but I don't know. I just want to stay away from all this bull crap, for real.
These people, okay? The day of the election, y'all, something changed. I don't know what. In the messages, okay, the night before, we were chatting, like, right up until midnight. And I was like, all right, we'll talk to you in the morning, and I'm gonna go do, I had already done my voting and everything. Once the election results, she said, okay, that night, she said, if the election doesn't go the way that I want it to go, then you probably, I'm getting off social media. You probably won't be hearing from me again. I'm deactivating all my accounts. And I was like, wait, what do you mean? You just, what about me and you? Like, how am I gonna talk to you? You know, like that. And she was just like, I just need a break from all this because there's going to be too much drama and stuff on my feed and everywhere in my family. And if it don't go right, I'm just not going to, I can't be on social media. So, you know, the election went the way it went. On the election, that next day, on election day, and the results in and everything like that, I hit her up. And she seemed like so down. Her messages were like sad, like the end of the world. I'm like, wow, it's not even really that big a deal. But I didn't say that. But I feel like maybe it was personal, more personal than I even realized. And she, all of a sudden, y'all, she started talking. She said in the messages, did I ever tell you about how I grew up, where I grew up? I was like, yeah, you did a lot of times. You saying it was cold, you know, to stay with the snow and things like that. And I didn't like the snow. I said, yeah, duh. I don't like the cold. You know that. You told me, girl. And she was like, no, this is before that, when we lived underground. I said, and I laughed, and I'm like, girl, underground? What you mean, Shar? Underground? And she said, yeah, underground. We had schools, we had streets, we had cars, we had everything, electricity. And then I started thinking, like, what is she talking about now? What is she? I said, Shar, is this you? What's going on? Why are you talking like this? You know, I'm starting to freak the hell out. And she didn't even answer my question. She just kept on these long paragraphs talking about this city underground. How if you, she said, if you dig underneath the dirt and stuff like that, you'll see these cables underground. These people, okay?
I don't know, man. They do be saying like people are living on the ground. They got like a lot of like, you know, experimenting underground. They even showed it in They Clone Tyrone, so it's not, I don't know, man. They always put the truth in the movies. You already know.
So the CIA once tried talking to dolphins, and shortly after they made it illegal.
A lot of problems come from not checking people the first time they try you. As a mental health therapist, I teach a lot of my clients how to navigate difficult relationships and also how to become more assertive, because being passive will get you walked all over and taken advantage of. And it's so important to learn how to be confrontational. And when I say confrontational, I don't mean that you have to be aggressive with people, but you got to know how to stand up for yourself, and you got to know how to check people when they try you, right? If somebody is saying something to you that you don't like and you know is disrespectful, you got to check them the first time. You ever heard like one of your parents or like somebody say when you were younger, when it comes to bullies, if you allow a bully to bully you, they're going to continue to do it until you stand up for yourself? Unfortunately, the same thing applies to adults. Yes, there are a lot of adult bullies, and if you do not check them the first time, they will walk all over you. A lot of problems come from not...
Yeah, I don't care.
America just lost a piece of history and witnessed to one of the worst acts of racial violence that this country has ever committed. And that's saying a lot. The 111-year-old survivor of the Tulsa race massacre passed away recently. And white people, if you've never heard of the Tulsa massacre, that's not an accident. A lot of white Americans were never taught this on purpose. So here's what you need to know. In 1921, Tulsa, Oklahoma had a thriving black neighborhood called Greenwood, also known as Black Wall Street. Black-owned businesses, doctors, lawyers, restaurants, movie theaters. Generational wealth was being built only 60 years after slavery was abolished. Then on May 31st, a white mob, supported by police, city officials, and even private planes, burned it to the ground. They bombed the neighborhoods from the air. They looted homes and businesses. They shot residents in the streets. Bodies were dumped in unmarked graves. Historians estimate about 300 black men, women, and children were all killed on that one day. 10,000 left homeless and 35 city blocks destroyed. And for nearly 100 years, America has covered it up. No mention in textbooks, no accountability. This survivor, who lived to be 111 years old, she carried the trauma of that day for over a century. They watched friends die. They watched their community be erased. They survived a massacre their own country refused to admit even happened. Her passing isn't just the death of an elder. It's the loss of an eyewitness testimony to one of the crimes white America has tried its hardest to forget. We owe it to them and the generation that never got justice to teach the truth, to make sure Greenwood never gets erased again. Please like and share so more people hear this story, because silence is how they tried to bury it to begin with. Share your thoughts in the comment section and follow me for more.
She died at 111. That's an angel number right there, man. That's crazy. That's dope, man. 111 years, man. Like, phew. Y'all think we used to live longer than we do now? Man, I feel like we used to live for thousands of years. I don't even think we, for real. I think it really go that far.
So scientists, you really learn something new every day. I just discovered that you can use whistling or snapping to get rid of bees and wasps when they're like flying around you. So whistling is for bees and snapping is for wasps, because for some reason they don't like it. I don't really know like the science behind it, but I've just seen a couple of videos and apparently it works. It works well. Hey, I've just figured I should, relay that information back to you, and I'll let you know if it works. You really learn something.
Does that really work?
So scientists confirm that your dreams might be real moments happening in another reality. Like not imagination, like reality. So when you dreamed about that mansion, 0 bills, that was real somewhere. They're basically saying that when your brain goes lucid, you're not dreaming anymore. You're tuning into another version of your life. So every time I was rich, fought demons, flown, and talked to people that don't exist here, it actually happened. Just not in this timeline. If you go down that rabbit hole on TikTok, you'll see people trying to switch realities. Whole tutorials, candle rituals and all. And people laughed at that shit. Well, apparently they're on to something. These scientists are working on making hardware that one day we could replay our dreams. I'm talking VR simulation type shit. Now think about this. If that rollout happens, the darkest parts of your subconscious might be public. Maybe dreams aren't fake. Maybe reality is. Because if my mind can leave this world every single night, who said this one is the real one? Y'all gotta think about this shit. I made a video about dreams before. And I'm always questioning, how do things like this happen in dreams? Where do we go? How do we get there? And then how do we come back into this reality right here? Well, apparently I've been asking the right questions. Pay attention. So science.
I believe it, man. That gotta be a reality. You able to talk, and you can't see yourself either. And you know this crazy thing, the only time you can see yourself is through a mirror. That's the only time. Or through like a device. Like we was never really meant to really look at ourselves, huh?
Oh, fucking way. Oh my God. Alexis. 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 Oh my God. Oh, fucking way.
Now, what is that? What is they saying? Seriously, what is that?
Vegetables don't look like that. So what's natural is made into something simulated to reconstruct our expectations. But why do we have that expectation? Because we saw it in the media, which was a simulation of that thing. Let's go to Disneyland. It's not just an amusement park, it's a super intensified simulation of aspects of the world that we inhabit. In their bluntness, as an overt space of fantasy and commerce, it becomes more honest than the outside world that pretends to be real. So Disney World serves to camouflage that the rest of the world is also a stage. It's also artificial. If you ask a random person to draw a picture of a princess, what will they draw? That's our definition of real. That's in your head. You define what a princess is based on a simulation. The simulation takes over around age 2 or 3. So the hyper-real becomes more important than things that are actually real. Think of your social media profile right now. It's supposed to be a reflection of you, but how often is it a carefully curated presentation for all of us? So the you on social media, with your complexities, your flaws, they're all smoothed out. This is a representation overtaking the original. You become a simulation of yourself. Baudrillard, in this book, argues that our consumer society is a hyper-real world where the consumption of images and signs and symbols don't just mask reality, but they become it. Take the brand Nike, "Just Do It" tagline, have transcended physical products. Think about Mac. It's separated from the products to represent an idea, a lifestyle. So the simulation, the brand image, has overtaken the reality, which is the product. Politics, the simulation of the candidate becomes more critical, more important than their abilities or their beliefs. People don't look like that. So what's...
If I didn't record it, y'all wouldn't believe it. Hold on.
She really...
Thank you, Jesus.
Wow.
That's it? All
That's
right.
somebody money too.
If I...
That's somebody money. She talking about thank you, Jesus. Well, they lost their money today. Because if that was me, I would have did the same thing, man. Thank you, universe. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God. Whoever. It's all the same, but yeah.
So the EPA just approved more forever chemicals to be sprayed on our fruits and vegetables, including broccoli and potatoes, two of the biggest staples that we have here in the United States. These forever chemicals, folks, are not water soluble or fat soluble. Means after you ingest them, they're stuck inside your body. These forever chemicals have been linked to many carcinogens which cause cancer. Unfortunately, the EPA says it's not as big a risk, your health, as the profits that we are going to help maximize by allowing these chemicals to slow how many bugs might chew on it or any kind of rot. So what the EPA is saying, Americans, your health is not as valuable as these companies' profits. Let that sink in. Let that sink in the next time you go and buy broccoli and potatoes. You can thank the EPA and your current sitting administration.
We can't do nothing. At this point, bro, like, can we get a new planet at this point? Like, seriously, we need a whole reset on everything. We can't do anything. Like, try to eat healthy, then they put the chemicals in your healthy foods. Like, man, like, what more do y'all want from us? You got us working, you got us in assimilation. What more do you want from us, man? Seriously. Do you want us to all to just die and to just be robots on the planet? That's what y'all want, huh?
I had no idea that the images we see on TV are not images. It's actual numbers. Our brain makes up the images. When you watch TV, I want you to remember that the TV isn't sending you a picture. It's sending electrical signals
broken into tiny pixels. Each pixel has numbers telling it what color and what brightness to be. Those numbers go into your brain. Your brain builds the picture like a puzzle. For an example, if the pixel code says 25500, your brain will see red. If it says 000, your brain will see black. Every single screen on TV is just a flood of code being translated inside of your mind. If everything you see is actual data hitting your senses, then interpreted in your mind, then your brain must be a damn computer, right? I don't know. The world we see is created in our brain. It's like, I think everybody has their own perception of everything. I had no idea.
For sure. That's crazy. So what are we? What number are we? If it's that, like, if you watching me on the screen, what number are we? Right? That's crazy. I don't know if it is like that. That's how you know we in the Matrix. This is reality, not real. It's just an experience that we just wanted to literally go through so we can see how it is. That's how I think it is. Like, seriously, we just want to see how far we can go.
Y'all, don't ever move to a new state and just think you about to go get some pizza. Baby, I thought I was ordering a hot and ready, about to be done and to go. This bitch, I gotta take it home and cook myself. Wait, I even gotta make the damn cinnamon. I'm done. Y'all, don't ever move.
That's tough. Papa Murphy's. Never go to Poppy Murphy's, y'all. They don't got take and bake. They do got take and bake pizza. Take and bake pizza. Bruh, they got take and bake pizza. Bro, they lazy for that, bro. I ain't gonna lie, that's lazy.
Hey, do you guys want to see all the hard work the lizards are doing to keep the plasma goddess from us? Here, take a look. I went on a little airplane ride and there was a bunch of these low-hanging clouds, right? And they're just little fluffy ones and stuff, probably held up by the, the 5G and stuff. But then if you go up a little bit, check this out. There's a huge gap and then another layer of clouds. Why are they double layering us? It's almost like they're trying to keep us in the dark. Have you guys ever seen that movie Dark City, where there's a bunch of vampires, and this is just a movie, but a bunch of vampires want to take over the dream world or whatever, and everyone just lives in the dark? That's kind of what it feels like for us. And then you look at these clouds, you're like, there's so many patterns in here. This is so weird. Isn't nature so cool, giving us these cool patterns through air turbulence or whatever the fuck? I don't know though, kind of looks like a bunch of things being suspended in the air with maybe like electronic, magnetic emissions coming from little tiny towers or something. Okay, look, there's like a third layer on top. This one's even casting a shadow. See that hard edge right there in the middle that's casting a shadow onto the second or third layer of clouds that we're all flying through? Yeah, dude, every day we're looking at the sun or the sky through like 3 layers of clouds. Look at all those.
I swear it gotta be something in the air, in the atmosphere, the government doing some type of experiments. Because I remember when I was younger, come check this out, man. I remember snow used to look like snow. It would fall apart, melt in your hand, snowflakes. Look at this shit, man. What is this? It's little pebbles, like it's manufactured. It's not even breaking apart. Look at that. It's like a styrofoam. Like, am I tripping or if other people notice this? Y'all been peeping this? Like, what happened to real snow? Anyway, OH.
It's not real snow, that's why.
So it's 24 hours to a day. Yes. So they tell you you're supposed to sleep what?
8 hours.
And so now you got how many left?
16.
And then you're supposed to work what?
8 hours.
And now you got what left?
8 hours.
You haven't cooked. You haven't got dressed. You haven't said hello to the children. Sleep deprivation. That's how they get you. Sleep deprivation. Huh? You haven't watched TV? You haven't called your mother? Your children? Sleep deprivation. It's right there. That's why the rich folks, you better not try to call their house after 8 o'clock at night. They sleep. You work midnight, what they call the midnight shift?
Graveyard shift.
Graveyard. What graveyard mean what?
Death. Cemetery.
Death. Why? 90 minutes after the sun go down, your brain get recharged. After midnight, the charging stops. If you're not home by midnight, you turn into a what? The nursery rhyme. Pumpkin?
Pumpkin now.
What's the only part of your body look like a pumpkin? Your head. So it's 24 hours to it.
Look at them two, y'all. Look, 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 look. Two of them. Look, look, look. How they racing? Look at it. Look, look, look. Look at it. Look, 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 look. Look, look, look. Look, hold on, wait. I'm about to show y'all. Look at that one. Look at that one. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look, 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 look. Catch up, brother. You gotta catch up, brother. I got more clouds than you.
Well, Hudson just sitting here happy though.
More clouds than you, brother. Catch up.
See, happy? Did they cloud seeding us? She treating this like a game. What the heck?
Look at this. Look at this. Air traffic control.
Yes. That's all they do.
Oh yeah. People don't even look up, man, when they go outside, bro. They don't. They just get in their car and they don't. They don't pay attention to any of this that they're putting in front of your face. And this is the sad part of reality.
You never see people looking up, man. Unless they're like older or something. You never see that. It'd be so rare.
Gary, would you ever wear AirPods?
Would I ever wear AirPods? No. AirPods, what they do is, if you look at the studies, what they do is they create radiation around the brain. And that area of the brain is actually where you have all your movement, where your fascia moves, where everything connects. That area of the brain is something you don't want to mess with. And when you wear your AirPods, they go in and they actually create heat there. Just look at the thermal scans and ask yourself, is that what you want to look like in 20 years?
Damn.
Gary, would you ever?
That's why I don't be wanting to wear my AirPods like that no more, for real.
Over time, our facial expressions etch onto the face, usually by the time we're like 16, 17.
Yeah.
So like if someone's seeking social approval their whole life, this is how we seek approval from other people.
That's why I have the lines on my forehead.
Yeah, because I'm seeing a social person. You see a psychopath? Blank. It looks like Botox in a psychopath. You see a person that spent their whole life super happy and in full enjoyment. You're going to see these crow's feet here from smiling all the time. You see somebody who's been depressed or angry. You're going to see this muscle right here forms these two wrinkles. This is called the glabella. It forms these two wrinkles. So you'll see lifetimes of behavioral patterns etched onto the face. I call this facial etching. When somebody's depressed, you see it on the face, but skepticism makes us squeeze the lower eyelid up like this. And you can see this in anybody. I have no idea whether it's proven science or not. My science is I've done research on this for 30,000 hours in real life on facial expressions. But skepticism squeezes this lower eyelid up here. So the less skeptical someone has spent their lifetime, the more suggestible that person is.
So what are some of the signs that people can see in the people in their lives when they look at them?
Consistent seeking of social approval. I could see somebody 30 yards away and see if they're even 30 years old, 20 years old, those lines on the forehead, and know that that person will be very easy to start a conversation with. Because all I've got to do is go, oh, hey, how are you? The eyebrow flash is repeated by humans 90% of the time without the other person knowing. Just walking by a total stranger saying, oh, hey, good morning. Their eyebrows will instinctively go up, especially if they're a social person. Then if we see anything in the center here, this glabella is a person with anger, depression, because that's the facial expression of the anger, squeezes those two muscles together. And if you ever see a horseshoe muscle, like right here, it's very hard to fake. I try to do it all the time. But if you just type in grief muscle into Google Images, you can determine suggestibility by the lower eyelid. And I've tested this with 3 hypnotists who have tested it out on over 15,000 hypnotic subjects. And it is 100%, according to these 3 guys, 100% correct. So those are the most easily hypnotized people in a crowd, because they do like comedy hypnosis in a bar where they like bring people up on stage, like, oh, you're smelling a fart and it smells real bad, that kind of stuff. That is the most accurate predictor of suggestibility I've ever seen. The smoothness of the lower eyelid. Over time,
Why do they win? Because we, all of us, prefer simulation. We want it more. It's more important to us. Just think about everything in your life. We're in a world with fake meat, fake fabrics, fake celebrities, fake personalities, fake plants, fake grass. The trouble is that our dopamine comes from these places instead of real things. We're addicted to simulations. We get addicted to simulacra. We've sold our soul to hyper-real things. It's impossible for us to think in terms outside the simulation. So can we get back to real? I'm wondering this too. Some people might say that we're past the point of going back to it. Like, we're so deep in this world of fakes, even if we tried to get back to what is real, there'd be nothing left. There's another side to this, and there could be little pockets of realness out there. They might be small, they might be hidden, but they're moments or places where what you see is what you get. So think of a genuine smile from someone you've never even met before and how that just feels. Think of art that's made just for the love of making the art, not for the selling of it. I think the key is to just know that the world we're in is filled with illusions and distractions, and we might not be able to completely get out of this, but we can definitely become smarter about navigating it. So just remember, anything that takes you further from who you are is the simulation. Clothing, ego, marketing, ads, buildings, neon lights, branding, labels, all simulation. Essentially, get back to nature. We are nature. That's one of the big illusions that is simulacra, is convincing you that you're not nature anymore, that I need to go spend time in nature. Bring back some kind of depth in your life, slow living. And remember that no matter what your opinion is of something, you're misinformed to a degree. The more certain someone is in your life, the more you should be skeptical, including yourself. Maybe the most radical thing that you can do today is slow down and unplug.
Did you know how powerful red seeded grapes are? Do you know that red seeded grapes help with your lungs, helps with your heart health, helps fight against cancer, anti-aging, has vitamin K? Did you know that this grape right here, these grapes are full of antioxidants? So this amount of grapes will do more healing to your body than any medication. So you want to go to the store, get you some red seeded grapes. I suffered from lung issues. I suffered from heart problems. So I make sure I get my seeded grapes in. I eat bags of seeded grapes. And yes, I eat the seed. Not to mention how delicious they are. And these are frozen. I froze them. But go get you some of these. It's good for your overall immune health. Go get you some grapes.
I just bought some grapes too. That's crazy. Yeah, these. If you want some good grapes, go to Sprouts, y'all. Sprouts. If you want some good red seeded grapes, go to Sprouts. They sell the good ones. I'm not gonna lie.
He says he was forced to make old food look fresh. That's why he secretly recorded his supervisor admitting tampering with best before dates is industry standard.
Every store does the same thing. All the other stores do the same.
At his home, Safari demonstrates what he says is done at work. He takes cheesecakes weeks past their best before dates, adds new toppings, and sells as fresh.
I decorate it, and I'm selling expired stuff for...
In a national online call-out, Marketplace hears from grocery workers at smaller stores and big chains, sharing stories of food tampering. He used to work in a Toronto area supermarket. He shows us how he was told to give old meat new life.
If it's like this, we would dabble in a little bit of blood, throw it into the meat mincer with some redder meats, and then all together it would make it look red. And then we put it back up on the shelf.
At the University of Guelph, a microbiologist simulated what grocery insiders told us they do. He discovered toxins and bacteria. He says he was forced to make old...
Y'all still want to eat meat? Come on, man. That's crazy. That right there, if that don't make you want to stop, switch up your diet a little bit, I don't know what will. That's nasty. So that's disgusting.
When you die, you don't have a fucking physical body. And guess what your soul is?
Fire.
Fire.
Yep.
Right there, it's fire. Energy. So, let me get this right. You got a fire soul that's going to be amongst fire, and everything down there burning and up there burning, but yet you're afraid of being burning, that you're already burning because your goddamn soul is fire. You see, this, if you look at the logical aspect, you don't have a physical body when you die, so how in the hell can you burn? So what is hell? Hell simply means when the soul takes on a physical body. Your physical body is hell. It is the defilement. And this existence is the worst existence to ever be. It's horrid, horrible. You see what I'm saying? It's called Hylics. Those who live in the physical world. You get it?
I believe it. That's why we got so much discomfort, emotions, and just a lot of death, So I believe it. Honestly, I think that's how it is. I don't know why people don't, it's not that hard to, Hell is not a real place. If anything, this is hell right now. You're living in hell right now. You got to pay for food on a free planet. This not hell.
Imagine that you're a liquor store owner. You arrive to work, the shelves have been ransacked. You think that you've been robbed. Then you walk into the bathroom to find an unconscious drunk raccoon sprawled out on the floor. A wasted raccoon passed out in a liquor store bathroom after it ransacked the shelves and got wasted.
Real quick, my bad for pausing, but this is funny. I'm not gonna lie, this is funny. And I just thought of something. Why they got Over the Hedge? Y'all ever watch Over the Hedge, Over the Hedge, Over the Hedge, whatever? Y'all ever seen that movie? That's what this reminds me of. But what I was gonna say is, isn't it crazy? Like, we really go unconscious every time we go to sleep. Like, we really, when we're unconscious, we're not even connected to this reality anymore. So what is this reality? Is it even, that's crazy. And this is funny though. They got this raccoon. What is he going through?
No joke. Look, he was tearing it up. According to a news report, animal control officers in Virginia responded to an unusual call this weekend after the raccoon broke into a liquor store, ransacked the shelves, and then passed out in the bathroom. On Saturday, officers with the Hanover County Animal Protection and Shelter were called to the Ashland ABC store and found the raccoon unconscious in the store's restroom. The raccoon had damaged merchandise on multiple shelves and got into the liquor before passing out. Officers safely secured the very intoxicated raccoon and took it to an animal shelter to recover, the shelter said. After several hours of rest, the raccoon showed no signs of being hurt other than maybe a hangover and poor life choices, the shelter said. It was released back into the wild. That is one hangover he will never forget. Imagine that
he was gone. Dang, how much was he drinking? Hey, Hey, he tired of life. He feel the same way we be feeling, y'all. He tired of life. He tired of life, man. I get it. Life will, yeah. Life will hit you with so many punches. You, man, like, damn, can we stop fighting? Can we be friends? Hey.
Dementia within 20 to 30-year-olds is spiking.
Oh, gosh.
They actually said there's a 400% increase in dementia in ages 30 to 44.
Do they know what's up?
Scrolling. They said it's ruining memory, attention span, and it's literally turning into dementia.
When are we going to say enough is enough and throw these things in a lake?
That's crazy.
400% increase.
Scrolling.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not throwing my phone in the lake. I need my phone. Sorry.
Online is just biologically changing.
It's the attention span and memories going down. It's literally corroding our minds.
Dude, I believe it.
Not just like, oh, their memory's not as good. It's like dementia.
Terrible.
Is it because you're like only exercising like your dopamine receptor and then everything else is atrophying or something?
It's possible.
I mean, the anxiety too. We talked about looking out at water and just like looking out to a horizon does something to the brain where it can like reset everything. And it kind of brings like scriptures to mind where it says like, be still and know that I am God.
Doesn't it say scroll and know that I'm God? Dementia within 20.
Wow, that's crazy though. You see how I'm like, oh, I can't. But yeah, a lot of people's addicted to their phones, man. That's just like, I feel like if you do it in the right way, you're good. You know, if you're taking in knowledge, that's okay. You know what I'm saying? But don't just take in the knowledge and not use it. Use it in your everyday life. That's what I be trying to do. Like, whatever I learn, man, I try to, you know, especially if it's helpful, like hit and, you know, do that in your real life. Don't just take the information and not use it.
Is this bitch on break or something? When she started doing that?
And to that raccoon in Virginia that broke into that liquor store, got drunk, and passed out in the bathroom. We understand. We see you and we are you. This is the type of year that we're having that even the animals are over it. And if I didn't care about my organs or my skin, I would have been drinking since November 6, 2024. I'm not going to even hold you. Okay? On top of everything else that's going on, now this walking bag of hemorrhoids is handing out Trump accounts to children. Sounds like a scam to me over and over again. And the money has to be used in a stock market that they are following. Let me tell you something. The moment that somebody gives you money that is known to be a scammer, better believe you're about to get scammed again. Okay? I'm not even sure if this is legal. You all are letting this man and his merry band of hooligans run amok. I'm just like that raccoon. I'm over it. I'm tired and I need a drink. And to that...
A lot of us feel like that, huh? We just feel like just like that raccoon. Like, how did he know to do that? It's funny as shit. I'm not gonna lie. That's, man. If the raccoon fed up, you know we fed up. Shit. Tired of this. You're just tired, man. It's just enough is enough. Seriously.
This little bird won't let me out of the car. He's all puffed up.
All this, when your eyes are open, you see the bullshit for what it is. How about them Atlanta Braves? How about them goddamn Yankees? Fuck that shit. All this when...
Have you guys seen Doomsday Map? They came out with a map that looks like this.
Wow.
This is America. They do like the whole world, but this shot is of America. This lady, her name is Peggy Bolton. She did some really fun research regarding the Doomsday Map. She compared with what this map looked like. She compared that to the land that Bill Gates has been buying. All the farmland. He is the majority farmland owner in the United States right now. She took the map of the farmland that he owns and overlaid it onto this Doomsday Map. Every single dry land piece was occupied by his farmland, including California. So California is basically completely underwater, but there's these little pockets of islands. See those? That little one right there, that's one of his farmlands.
Yep.
Like that compared to like Zuckerberg. Oh, because on this Doomsday Map, Hawaii is completely fine. And she talked about how Jeff Bezos is also buying up farmland around the U.S. That all correlates with like these high points in America.
Yeah.
It's super creepy.
So we need to get a boat.
Have you guys...
How do you...
But this grilled chicken patty has 46 ingredients. What's in here? Chicken, also a water solution to kind of beef it up and make it more juicy and plumper and way more. To also give it more volume. There's multiple types of sugar.
Someone call it sick filet. They stupid, bro. That shit is funny. Somebody said sick filet.
Processed sugar in this chicken patty, including maltodextrin from corn and pure table sugar. There are multiple types of seed oils in here, including soybean oil and canola oil in the chicken patty, which is supposed to be 100% chicken, remember. There are multiple natural flavors, quote unquote, in here, including natural smoke flavor. Now, the term natural flavors is kind of misleading because a lot of things that are heavily chemically processed can be included as natural flavors, and all of those 46 plus ingredients go into this grilled chicken breast sort of concoction, which is supposed to be 100% chicken, but it's clearly not. And we haven't even gotten to the bun yet. Thankfully, the tomato and the lettuce on here are just tomato and lettuce. So we're doing okay there. But the bun has 61 ingredients in this brioche bun. A lot of the same stuff you find in this grilled chicken breast, quote unquote, are in this bun. How ironic is that? You've got canola oil, soybean oil, you've got a bunch more gums, xanthan gum in this. You have multiple preservatives, including EDTA. You have natural flavors. So there are a lot of highly processed ingredients, even in the bun, that goes with your not 100% chicken, grilled chicken patty from Chick-fil-A. So, as I said in the intro to this video, a lot of people think Chick-fil-A is healthier, but clearly, even though this is a grilled piece of chicken that is, quote, 100% chicken, over 100 ingredients, preservatives, natural flavors, which are highly processed, multiple types of seed oils, multiple gums, multiple types of sugars, maltodextrin, processed table sugar in this Chick-fil-A sandwich. And they're there because it makes the Chick-fil-A sandwich more addictive. Chick-fil-A, multiple other fast food manufacturers, they're not in the business of making health food, even though Chick-fil-A kind of pretends to be health food. It masquerades as health food, and some people believe it's healthier. They're in the business of making you food that is addictive, food that actually makes you hungrier, food that makes you want to eat more, and food that keeps you coming back because you're kind of addicted to it. So right from the outset, the grade A grilled chicken breast from Chick-fil-A has a ton of ingredients and is highly processed, not what it pretends to be on the outset. All right, next up, we have the traditional classic Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich. They say it's a real classic. I don't know about that. So here we go, guys. We have basically this chicken breast, which is full of the same stuff that's found in the other one. And I forgot to mention that in both of these...
This is a little like you don't even supposed to eat that. It look like a cartoon sandwich or something. Seriously.
Chicken breast is something called dimethylpolysiloxane, which is an anti-foaming agent. I don't know why you need an anti-foaming agent in a chicken breast. It's also found in silly putty. So it's a silicone ingredient found in silly putty in both this chicken breast and this chicken breast. Obviously, there are a bunch of seed oils here in the chicken and in the coating, and this is grilled and fried in seed oils, including soybean oil and canola oil. This classic chicken breast, which is battered and deep fried, is probably even worse than the grilled one. It also contains multiple types of sugar, maltodextrin, processed table sugar, as we talked about here, MSG, monosodium glutamate. The research is conflicting on MSG. A lot of people think that it can cause headaches or cause them to feel weird. It certainly could contribute to making you hungrier or confusing satiety signals, but they put that in there, and the reason they put it in there is to make it taste better and to make you crave more of it. And we haven't even gotten to the bun yet. This bun is pretty incredible. It contains something called flavored butter oil, which is actually just a bunch of seed oils, soybean oil, canola oil, other oils. But this...
Oh no! How do you know that the chicken at the grocery store, that the eggs in the grocery store are truly pasteurized?
So a lot of people would say, they're going to hear your question, they'll be like, well, I can tell from the yolk. Like the yolk's going to be orange in the true pasture raised. No, people. Like that is not how you tell. The industry uses something called xanthophyll, which is a feed additive.
What?
That can make that yolk any color they want. So whether the birds have lived out on green grass or they've never stepped foot outside, I can produce an orange or a red or bright yellow or even like shades of green. Like I can make it any color through a synthetic feed additive. That's what those guys are doing. So then a lot of people are cracking this yolk open. They're like, oh, wow, look at this beautiful orange yolk. And I'm like, that's not orange because the birds are outside. That's from a feed additive.
How do you...
Y'all seen what they did to the meat in that last video. If y'all didn't see it, y'all seen what they did to the meat. They reused that meat, and that meat was expired. And they reusing it and putting dye on it and putting it in with the new meat to make it look like nothing wrong with it. It's crazy. We can't do shit. We can't do nothing. We can't even eat vegetables no more. Like, can we get a break? Can a nigga get a break, please?
Break. Give a nigga a break.
Bro, hey, I ain't gonna lie, he get the air pass. Give a nigga a break.
I don't know about these Egyptians,
I don't think they made those pyramids. This is how you know Mexicans are the greatest workers in history. Ready? There are also pyramids in Mexico.
I didn't know that.
No one questions who built those. Ain't no hour-long History Channel special about the pyramids in Mexico. Who built the pyramids in Mexicans, mother... There was a quinceañera, they needed a tent, they had that shit up on Saturday. Aliens probably came, but they're like, we got it, don't worry about it. Taking care of aliens. All taken care of. You go help the Jews, they struggling in the... I don't know about these Egyptians.
That was funny, man. Yeah, maybe they did. You know, Mexicans, shout out to my Mexicans, you know, they builders, you know what I'm saying? They Bob the Builder. You feel me? Bob the Builder. They don't play that. Bro, they built a whole house in 1 minute. I don't care what nobody's...
It get crazier by the day. And what if I told you beavers not even real animals? They synthetically grown creatures created in a lab in order to cause chaos and havoc in nature. If you don't know about Yakub, do some research into him, but let's take a look into why I say the things that I say. Because the truth truly is stranger than fiction. So are these just cute little creatures or some of nature's biggest ops? Because they always try to fluff it up and show people these cute images of these animals when they give us the cartoon images and representations of them. But what about the real though? Basically just like huge termites, but they do way more damage to everything around them than a termite ever could. Once you put a beaver in nature, it's gonna do what it do best every single time. It's gonna cause destruction. And you know one thing that you will notice in common with all of the pictures of a beaver's environment? Water is always dark, dirty, and polluted looking anytime you see a beaver living near it. Anytime you look up a picture of a beaver in nature next to water, it's gonna look like this. It's not by coincidence because they the ones who caused it to look like that in the first place. Think about it for a second. Would you create a beautiful, thriving planet full of nature just to throw an animal in the mix right after that go behind everything you just built and cause destruction to it? No, because that is the work of Yakub. These are...
Yeah, they definitely synthetic. I never even looked at beavers like that, but yeah. Dang, they really be destroying stuff.
Synthetic creatures, if you ask me. They out there in nature, they just doing what they do best. They doing what they was created to do. Because if you ask me, these are created players in the wild. Let's take a look at some of the facts real quick. Their teeth never stop growing and are orange. The orange color comes from iron, which makes their teeth stronger than steel in some ways. Do that sound natural? It can hold their breath for 15 minutes.
15
Homes
minutes.
change entire ecosystems. They have a secret clear eyelid. Their back feet are webbed, but their front feet are tiny hands. They have a built-in anti-leak system. Dams can be seen from space, they tell us. There's a famous one in Canada that's over 2,800 feet long, bigger than the Empire State Building. Engineer environments like hive mind species, beavers reshape entire landscapes with an instinct so precise it feels pre-programmed. They alter rivers, drown forests, and create new biomes almost like they're following an ancient geological blueprint. And that sounds like the work of Yakub if you ask me. Their dams distort time for other creatures. By flooding a habitat, they force other animals to migrate, evolve, or vanish. A beaver colony can literally cause a micro extinction or birth a new ecological niche. Their architecture bends the fate of species. Do that sound like something natural to you? Something that came about naturally? Hell nah. They build in the dark with submarine silence. Underwater, they place logs in mud by feel alone. No light, no sound, just instinct guiding them like blind cosmic masons. Might have thought I was talking, but no, their teeth contain iron like weapons. Not metaphorically, literally iron. Their incisors shimmer with metal, a biological alloy that sharpens itself as they gnaw. They cut trees with a mouth that borders on metallic horror. They literally just told us the more destruction they cause, the more upgrades they get. The more trees they destroy, the sharper they iron-like teeth get. That's not crazy to you? Beaver tail slap feels like a trigger for some ancient instinct, and folklore is often described as a death knock, a sound that the forest listens to. Have no fear of reshaping the world. Most animals adapt to nature. Beavers reshape it to their will. In the cosmic hierarchy, that's unusual. It's sentient behavior without sentience, like nature experimenting with the idea of architects. Top of the fact, it's only 2 species of beavers on Earth, the North American beaver and the Eurasian beaver. Together, they occupy a massive slice of the planet: North America, Europe, Asia, and wherever there's fresh water, trees, and enough quiet to terraform, beavers eventually appear like hairy watershed prophets. Even tell us humans introduced beavers to places they absolutely do not belong. I wonder who that was, because it definitely wasn't you or me. So who was it aiding and abetting in this agenda? Top of the fact that with these dams they go around creating, they literally are killing water. Water is supposed to always move. Nature is supposed to always move. Even tell us, yes, still water is often dying water. In many ecosystems, water must move to stay oxygenated, alive, and healthy. Stagnant water can lose oxygen, grow bacteria, trap heat, accumulate decay. Tell us beavers do stop that movement. They literally choke rivers. Their dams slow a stream, spread it out, drown the banks, and create ponds where the water becomes thick, dark, and still. And hey, I know this has been a long video, but they got a long trail of unnatural behavior. So what you think? Created players? Or you think they natural to the wild?
They not natural. After all hearing all that, they definitely not natural. And did y'all know that if you leave your like a cup of water sitting for a long time, it would literally grow mold? Did y'all know that?
Brown eyes, the oldest color in human history, and still the most common. They're not just dark for beauty's sake, they're armor. Packed with melanin, brown irises act like built-in sunglasses, absorbing sunlight and scattering glare before it ever hits the retina. For early humans hunting under the brutal African sun, that pigment meant survival. Clearer vision, fewer burns, and protection from UV damage long before sunglasses existed. Even today, over 70% of the world's population carries that same genetic legacy. Under daylight, brown eyes look steady and deep, but catch them in candlelight, and they flash gold, revealing tiny rivers of pigment under the surface. They don't shimmer for show. They shimmer from strength. Brown eyes are nature's default, practical, powerful, eternal. But when sunlight faded and winters grew long, evolution flipped the script, and blue eyes were born from darkness.
But everything is actually backwards. 0 is 9, 8 is 1, 7 is really 2, 3 is really 6, and 4 is really 5. I repeat, 0 is really 9, 8 is really 1, 2 is really 3, 2 is really 7, 3 is really 6, and 4 is really 5. Check this out. What's 0 and 9? 9. What's 1 and 8? 9. What's 2 plus 7? 9. What's 3 plus 6? 9. And what's 4 plus 5? 9. I'll repeat that for you. 0 is really 9. 1 is really 8. Because they tell you 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's how harmonic we are. Perfection. And everything will always come back to us. 9, which is where we come from. X.
That's crazy. Are you breaking that down like that? Like, dang. So 9 is really just like the highest number. There's no number higher than 9. Everything else is just matrix bullcrap that they made up to put you in a box because you love being in the box, right? Yeah.
19th galaxy, 9th universe, 9 ether beings. Okay? So 9, they got you thinking 0 is 9. 0 is the lowest up to 9. But no, 0 is really 9. 1 is really 8. 2 is really 7. 3 is really 6. 4 is really 5. See what I'm showing you? And then what's 0 plus 9? It's 9. You go 9 plus 0, you at 9. You do 1 plus 8, 9. But everything is actually backwards.
That's crazy. Shout out to the people that don't want to be in the box, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Y'all the real ones. But everybody else that just love being in the box, you don't really like, you know, you're a bot. Yeah. You're an NPC. But I think most people that watch me is tapped in. Hopefully, I will hope. I will hope everybody that watch me is tapped in. But I know the real ones. I know the real ones.
I think
they're saying that we're about to walk into one of the coldest seasons ever. They're saying that the Northeast is about to get hit with temperatures so low that it could be catastrophic. You heard what I just said? They said that we're about to get hit with temperatures so low before Christmas that things can get catastrophic. Our water source can be frozen. Pipes can bust. Now they're saying that this is the Northeast, but it's usually cold on the Northeast. But they're saying that the type of cold that it is going to be, we ain't never experienced before. Mind you, let's take a look at what's been going on in other places because of snow and cold weather. This is a highway in Illinois. 50-car pileup. People lost their lives. This is because of the cold and the snow. Mind you, it's not even winter yet. And if it's going to be this cold before winter, because winter starts December 21st, just imagine how cold it could possibly be after winter hits. Y'all better get ready for this shit. And let's pray for the people who ain't got nowhere to live.
Damn. We forget that. Like, people be living in the cold and shit. I feel bad for people that gotta go through that, man, for real. Because I remember being in Chicago. Chicago ain't nothing to play with, man. You better have your coat. Man, you better have a jacket on and a coat. And you better have gloves. Because if you don't, you're not feeling your fingers. Say goodbye to them fingers, because you... It was not. It's been so cold that you can't even feel your fingers. You can't even get nothing out your pocket. It's so cold. That shit is not normal. Gee, like what? Bruh, fuck out of here.
I think you get to a point in your life and you realize everything's bullshit. You know, it's all meaningless. You got to leave school, you got to go to university, you got to get a job, you got to get married, you got to have kids, all that, and all of that just. I mean, it never sat right with me anyway. I was, you know. I've always been the black sheep or the maverick or the whatever through my life. I've never really dealt well with authority. Certain things happened in my private life, and then obviously we had COVID, which I think was kind of the catalyst to me saying I don't want to be part of this system anymore. And it felt so meaningless, you know. You're like working really hard to make someone else rich, and actually consequently you just end up tying yourself into more and more knots and more debt and more responsibilities and contracts, and you don't get any richer, you know. The price of living goes up, and essentially you're just always hand to mouth almost, even though you're earning really big money, and because it all comes about image and how you look. And I think probably when I got to this point in my life where I decided to move into my van, this was my final rebellion against that. Living in a house, you know, every time something comes through the letterbox, it's going to be demand for money or you've done something bad. In this van, no one can post me any shit. They can't post me any letters. So I feel like I'm completely out of the system here, you know. And I mean, unless they send a series of police cars down the road to capture me, you know, I feel free. I think you get to a point in your life and you realize.
Salute to her, man. That's what I like to see. That's good. That's good living right there, man. For real. You ain't gotta worry about that type of bull crap. It's good living right there, man.
You're not supposed to wear clothes. You're not supposed to have no laws. You're not.
So that ain't you. Let me see. Bro, that's you, bro.
Okay, so I was gonna make a video talking about how I see reality because it's gotten to the point where it's so
You know, when a police officer pulls you over, he's listening to your whole conversation. That's why he sits behind you in a car for 20 minutes. He's listening to every word you say. Here's how. The real reason why they got rid of lead-based gasoline is not because it was bad for the environment or pregnant women. It was because radar, how they check your speed, came out in the 1940s. It was adopted in the 1970s by law enforcement. So they outlawed it in 1978 for the homes, and they outlawed it for the cars as well for the gas, because when they hit you with the radar gun, the radar radiation has to return to for it to tell the speed. Lead absorbs it, so it doesn't go back to sender. The data can't be collected. Now, also, if you've ever wondered why a police officer sits behind you for 20 minutes after he pulls you over and you don't know why, it's because he's listening to your conversation with the same technology, whatever you're saying in your car, but he really can't or couldn't do that if there was a gas tank full of lead between you and him. Could he or she?
Alright, y'all, that's gonna do it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy that. I'm gonna try to keep being consistent. It's just I'm just trying to make sure I'm doing the necessary things I need to do to, you know, have a healthy life, you know. So just give me time. I'll be back. I'm gonna try to bring these videos every day. Something that will, you know, enlighten you every day. So with that being said, I'm sending peace your way. Have an abundant day. Have an abundant year. Have an abundant 2026. Peace.